all good characters have flaws. But what does that even mean? And more importantly, how can a writer use a character's flaws to help them actually write their screenplays? In this video, I'm going to demystify the flaw. Let's define flaw. A flaw is a character's strategy or behavior that is tied to an imperfect worldview. And why is that important? Because the flaw sets up the character's arc. Say what? Let's break it down. First, you have to figure out the essential engine of your story. A yes or no thematic question that every character thinks they have an answer to, the character's answer to that worldview, or their motto, so to speak, and that character's strategies or behaviors based on that worldview. Essentially, they act the way they act because of their motto. The flaw is that character's inability to change their strategies or behaviors when their worldview is challenged. That doesn't really help. Example time. Example number 1, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. The theme question that every character has an initial answer to in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is, should you take a leap of faith? Miles' initial answer to that question, no. You should only commit to acting when you're absolutely sure of your success. So what are Miles' strategies based on this worldview? Holding back his ability instead of fully showing up, avoiding commitment so that he can keep an exit, deferring responsibility to someone more ready, participating only partially without taking ownership, retreating or freezing under pressure instead of acting, and shifting his identity depending on the environment so he never has to fully commit to who he is. He does this before he even becomes Spider-Man. Whether it's participating in class or trying to get kicked out of school or hesitating with Gwen and constantly saying to himself that he shouldn't do something or that he's second guessing himself, well, guess what? That is Miles' flaw. Why? Well, because throughout all of Act 2, Miles tries to hold on to this behavior even as Spider-Man. He's not ready to take a leap of faith, so he relies on the other Spider-Men. He defers to them, and he can't use his powers on command because he doesn't think that he's ready. But by the end of the film, Miles is forced to change his worldview to, yes, you should literally make a leap of faith, because with great power comes great responsibility. Or you must act even if you don't think you're ready. That change is Miles' arc. He has a positive hero's arc. And it was only made possible because he overcame his flaw. Now look at Kingpin. Fisk's initial answer to the question is an absolute yes, you should take a leap of faith no matter what the risk. That's why he creates the collider, and without even thinking about the consequences. Out of selfishness, he wants his family back, and he doesn't care what it's going to do to the fabric of reality, right? He's just going to take that leap of faith. This recklessness, this push to just continue doing what you want to do, regardless of the risk, is Kingpin's flaw, and it's why he fails, because he's the antagonist, and he has a flat arc. He never changes. His worldview never evolves. And so at the end of the movie, he doubles down and fails. So Kingpin and Miles both answer the theme question at the end of the movie, should you take a leap of faith, with yes. But Kingpin's yes is based on power, and Miles's yes is based on, you guessed it, responsibility. Example 2, Top Gun Maverick. This is Tom Cruise's movie, right? He's the hero, he's the protagonist, he's the main character. So let's look at the engine of the film. What's the theme question with Tom Cruise as the main character? Is man more powerful than machine? Essentially, can you replace me with a drone? His answer to the question, no, you can't replace me no matter how old I am, I'm Maverick. So what are his strategies and behaviors? I'm going to be me. I'm going to be Maverick. I'm going to go rogue. I'm not going to do what I'm told. I'm going to break all the rules. And at the end, I'll show you that I was right. And you'll want to be my wingman anytime. So what is Maverick's flaw? Hal, that's a trick question. He doesn't have one. Why? Because no matter what the plot throws at him, Maverick never changes. He never thinks, maybe my worldview is wrong and I should rethink my strategies and behavior. Maybe I should follow the rules. Maybe I shouldn't be such a Maverick. And because of that, it makes his arc flat. So why does Maverick still work as a film? It can't just be because of the action sequences or nostalgia. It's got to be something else, right? Well, it is. The answer is Rooster. Rooster is actually the secret protagonist in Top Gun Maverick. Why? Because the real theme question in Top Gun Maverick is, can you succeed on your own? Rooster's initial answer to that question is yes. I don't need anyone. And so his strategies are work harder than everybody else, stay committed to your mission, push others away, all that stuff. And guess what? That's also his flaw. All throughout the second act of the movie, the plot keeps telling Rooster, hey, you should probably work as a team if you want to succeed, but Rooster is too angry and too stubborn to listen. But by the end of the film, Rooster realizes that teamwork makes the dream work, so he teams up with Maverick, and they get in the old planes, and they save the day, and everybody cheers. Arc complete. Maverick never changed, but Rooster did. Does that make sense now? Good. One last thing to know about flaws. A flaw is not a character trait, it's not an obstacle, and it's not a condition. Turning a weakness into a strength or turning your weakness into a superpower is a thing, and I'll make another video about that, but that is not a flaw. Having a drinking problem, right? That's kind of like the go-to device for writers when they want to create flawed, bunny ears flawed characters. But that's just a condition. It's symptomatic of a behavior that is a flaw, but that changes for every movie. And so you can't just give your character like a substance abuse problem or a troubled past or anger management issues, right? That's not a flaw. It's a condition, and it's tied to the behavior that creates the flaw. It's an important distinction to make. And what about being stubborn? I mean, isn't Rooster stubborn? Isn't that his flaw? No, it's not. It's not. It's a character trait, and it's tied to the behavior that creates the flaw, just like how drinking is not a flaw. It's just tied. It's just symptomatic of the flawed behavior. I hope you found this video entertaining and informative. Leave a comment down below if you think I got something wrong or if you got something to say about this topic. And if you like this kind of content, come back to the channel for more breakdowns and screenplay formatting and architecture. Until next page, I'm Matt Weiner, and this is Fade In, a channel dedicated to the art of screenwriting.